period. Face-off win back to Ramsey. Ramsey goes D-to-D over to Knapp with a snapper. And empty net, wide open goal for Emerson. Picks up the loose change. Lakers move on to tomorrow's final. Short pass to Kadoff. Boom goes the dynamite. Vekic, power play goal. 3-1 is your score. The Blue Hawks are now technically shorthanded. Shorthanded scoring opportunity. And la-di-da-di. That is Johnson with the shawty. All by himself. The assists go to nobody.
We have a great game for you today after yesterday's thrilling semifinals. The Blue Hawks held form and won 5-2 to advance. The Lakers were huge upset winners, taking down the #1 seeded Walleye. Will the Lakers be able to pull off another upset, or is it the Blue Hawks that advance as champions from the Tier 1 League to play Shattuck for a right to go to USA Hockey Nationals?
Good afternoon and welcome. John Conley here, high atop Rink 3 at the Schwann Super Rink, Blaine, Minnesota. Today's game is the championship of the 16U Tier 1 League season. The winner moves on to play Shattuck St. Mary's. The winner of that game earns the automatic bid to go to Nationals. Had a chance after the game to talk to Brad Clayton. Brad is the coach of the Blue Hawks. Here are his thoughts fresh after that victory last night.
Clayton, the game just ended. It was a 5-2 final. Great showing for the Blue Hawks as they move on to the championship game. So tell us a little bit about today's game and how the kids responded and what you were looking for.
Started a little slow. We had last weekend off, so it kind of seems to be the MO of our squad. We're a little quiet. We're actually a real goofy group, so it took us a little while to get going. But once we got going, we played our game, and the scoreboard showed. I mean, we end up coming out ahead because we dominated on the puck.
So I'm sure you remember an hour ago when you went to intermission, the score was 0-0. So you're right. It just took a while to get going, but 5 goals in that last half of the game. Very, very impressive. Tomorrow, I know a lot of people looked, certainly I did, at the standings coming into these playoffs and thought, boy, if the Blue Hawks meet the Walleye, what a great championship game that would be. Not to be, however, as the Walleye were upset. I'd say surprising fashion on paper, but if you saw the game, great showing today by the Lakers, and that's your opponent for tomorrow. So what are your thoughts, and what do you know about them?
It's the playoffs. Anybody can win. You got to get in and see what happens. I told my guys that before the game. Lakers are a good team. They got some big guys that can play. We'll be ready to go, and I know they will be too.
So I think, if I'm not mistaken, you dressed one goaltender today.
Yep.
So same goalie tomorrow? Or
yes.
Okay, so same goalie tomorrow. And then also heard, you're a northern Minnesota team. Some people, because it's a late start tomorrow, some people might even drive home and come back. So, you endure a little bit more travel challenges than the rest of the teams. What are you looking for tomorrow so they don't have a slow start?
Honestly, with our group, if we come in and we see they're loose in the lock and we warm up well, we're going to be just fine. It's just always that first game, our very first game of the weekend after having an off weekend. We'll be just fine.
Well, that does it. So any final thoughts, Brad? Really looking forward to this championship game.
Nope. We are too, and we've been looking forward to it for a couple of weeks now.
Great. Good luck to you and the kids.
Awesome.
That's Coach Brad Clayton from the Blue Hawks. After the first game, I didn't get the coaches from the Lakers. This is Xavier Emerson.
Saturday night, I'm here with Xavier Emerson. Xavier, your team was down 2-0. The Lakers were trailing the Walleye. And then what were the thoughts from the team about trying to crawl back into the game?
Well, our coach, he told us to pick up the effort. I know he was yelling pretty good in the locker room, getting us fired up. So I think our mind shift between that half kind of changed, and we wanted to win. We believed we could win, and we won.
So I think your goal came right at the half mark, and then your team got another one to start the second half. And then beautiful goal forced the overtime. You guys 3-3 in the overtime. So tell us that last sequence that the game ended on. You know, you got the first goal of the game. You also got the last one. Tell us about the winner and how you buried it.
Well, I mean, we had a nice shot coming down from TK. I know my friend Rico's in front of the net there, and I mean, it just laid out perfect right there. Felt like slow motion coming in. I just tapped it in the net. And I don't know, just felt like slow motion. It was a fun goal.
Nice. Was a great game. Good luck in the final.
Thank you.
Perfect timing. Our pregame interviews with Coach Brad Clayton from the Blue Hawks and Xavier Emerson from the Lakers ended just in time. They're lining the players up. Pretty soon we'll have the horses in the gate, and we will be off and running. It's the all-Minnetonka forward line. Keppers, Johnson, and Manning for the Lakers. Knapp and Ramsey on defense. Looking the other direction. I know I saw Carson out on defense, and our forward line, Fellman on the left side. Miskovich in the middle, right side. Defender is Kadoff. And looks like I'm missing one more here. Maybe Kadoff's being used as a forward today. I think that was also the case some yesterday. And the last one out there, I think, is Donovan. Early going. That's the first whistle. We're in the first minute of play. John Connolly here, broadcasting for Minnesota Hockey. Really had a great time yesterday. 2 great semifinals, and a lot of talk in the lobby out before this game about how the records mean nothing. Lakers with a losing record. That shot going just high came in from Hammett. Lakers with a losing record during the regular season. They were the 4 seed, took out the number 1 seed. Walleye go down in that upset yesterday. Here comes Manning. Manning runs into some static, and eventually the puck is gathered up back into his own end by Pullman. Now it's Locker. Locker finds an escape route and passes this one in front of the bench. A little bit quick there to get rid of it is Richards, and he put it right onto the tape of Worst from the opposing team. This time he's a little bit more cautious, but once again sends it onto the stick. This time it's to Lewin. Lewin, number 5. He had a great game yesterday for the Lakers. Dipsy dangle turnaround backhand from Brown goes to nobody. Was hoping he had a winger streaking over on the right side. Breakout opportunity for the Blue Hawks, but they lose the puck out at neutral, and chance for Lewin to play it off the boards out. Dumped right back in by Locker. Everybody tags up, and a little tentative here in the early going, and seen some pucks turned over and some passes to nowhere as the teams get settled in. You know, the coaches always like getting that first shift. Every rotation has to be quick to get everybody into the game fairly quickly. Point blank scoring chance there by Tushy. Tushy had that exciting goal yesterday that sent the game to overtime. Let's Dance, David Bowie blaring over the loudspeakers, and got Joe Henches, our producer, bringing you today's sights. I'll do my best to describe the action in today's game, and we'll hopefully be half as good as the players on the ice, because it's been a very impressive high level of play throughout the fall Tier 1 season. This is their final swan song with the team before these teams get dissolved and wind up scattering, going to the different high school programs. Winner of this game has one more date on the calendar. They'll be facing Shattuck St. Mary's. The winner of that one qualifies for USA Hockey Nationals held next April. And if you think it's unusual for qualifier to be about 6 months before the actual game, yeah, it sometimes doesn't work out the way you would think. And in Minnesota, with the high school season dominating the calendar, that's the reason. So we got an upcoming penalty here against the Lakers. Delayed penalty against the Lakers. They'll go a man down, giving the Blue Hawks. It's a cross check that's called. Cross-check on Brown of Eden Prairie. Brown goes off for the Lakers. Cross-checking leads to a face-off. Rosenlund is in goal to start the game. And over on the other side, it's Couture. Couture went the distance for the Blue Ox yesterday. Face-off win, nice and clean. Great play there in the face-off circle by Clemenson. Got it back to Ramsey, who fired it all the way down the length of the ice. Blue Ox are leaving Weinkauf out at the far blue line. That keeps the defenders back far enough that Mangini's able to walk it up through the neutral zone, gain the attacking zone, and now they're setting it up on the perimeter. Back to the right point. Hammett down into the corner, back to Hammett. He's got a D-to-D option to Locker if he wants. Instead, he throws it down into the corner, and now they're going to work it up along the half wall. Hammett out top. This shot goes wide, and it's onto the stick of Locker. He does a nice job keeping this one in. Hammett lets it go, and they're moving the puck very nicely laterally. Very good puck movement here for the Blue Ox as they move the puck laterally. This is the type of play you'd expect from a college or professional team at the middle of the season when they're accustomed to where each other are going to be. One of the things you hear about this league is not a lot of practice time, but you'd never know it from what we're seeing here. Short-handed scoring chance. That might have hit the post. Lindholm down low. He ticks that one off the post and bringing it out now for the Blue Ox. It's a stretch pass all the way up to Weinkauf. Weinkauf gets knocked off the puck very nicely, and it's cleared out by Tupi. Tupi and Atushi, both players for the Lakers. One plays forward, one plays defense. This shot goes wide and rings out. Nobody there to keep it in at the blue line, and it's Donovan to retreat. He waves himself off and lets Carson pick this one up. Good pace to this game so far. We had a couple quick whistles and a couple quick line changes, but once we got into this penalty situation, there haven't been any stoppages. 4 seconds to go in the man advantage. Manning sees no reason to dump it in, chooses to skate it across the blue line before it's a chip and chase, and that allows some of his line mates to make the line change. Both teams now full strength. We're 5 minutes into this game, still scoreless. Donovan with a nice pass up ahead to Miskovich. He runs it down into the corner. They wave off the icing call as he's just too fast and gets there before it hits the goal line. Kept in at the point. We're seeing a lot of Hammett early in this one. Hammett over there on the right side. Point blank scoring chance. Huge save. Denies Fellman. Fellman with that really juicy shot. He was down in the low slot, picked up a loose puck, and great play there by Rosenlund, making the save when they need it. We're still scoreless. Fellman over to Donovan. Donovan says, you know what, I've got to get off for a line change. Throws it all the way down, and fresh sets of legs come out for the Blue Ox. Pinned down along the corner. Eventually it pops out onto the stick of O'Connell. O'Connell to the blue line, but not out, and then that shot didn't work for Locker. The puck was bouncing a little bit and kind of wobble away from him. Let 12:21 remaining first period. We play 18-minute periods, so we're still in the early going here. John Conley here, broadcasting the game from Minnesota Hockey. If you don't mind, I'm going to take a quick moment to catch my breath. That was a lot of hockey with no stoppages. Forced into the face-off circle, and eventually it's controlled by the Blue Ox. They get it back to the point, and it's sent sailing in. Simonson's over here on the left side. I think that's Simonson. Maybe it's... No, that's... The tuck is throwing me. Big hit down there by Cy Ramsey. Good physical presence early in the game. Ramsey gets the deflection here, and now he's working the other way, joining the rush. Ramsey's actually leading the rush. He's going to get down across the end line first. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Worst. I thought it was Worst and Ramsey are both tall. I thought it was 6. It was actually 8. My apologies. This is thrown out to the neutral zone. Worst says, I'm going to stick around one more second here, try to get control of this one, chip it out to neutral zone, and now he's trying to get it over to Tushy. Tushy on the forecheck, and nice spin move. He gets the shot on goal. Rebound opportunity from Emerson. Emerson, the hero yesterday, he had 2 goals. So let's talk about that. So I'm looking at some stats that I pulled together. This is league play plus showcase that they played. And 18 games, Emerson 2 points on 2 assists. No goals. Go figure. He gets 2 of the biggest goals of the year. He got him on the board yesterday, and then the one to put this one away and send everybody home in overtime. Sudden death overtime goal by Emerson from New Prague. He got 2 when it mattered most yesterday, and now they're into the final game. Saved by Rosenlund. Faceoff comes to his right. I want to thank everybody for watching. John Connolly here announcing the game for Minnesota Hockey. Into the faceoff circle is Johnson. Draws one over in the direction of his lineman. I think that's a shot wide of the mark by Skyme. Out to the neutral zone and a spin move from Schweiger. He evades everybody and he comes in. This one hits the leg pads of Cy Ramsey. This time I do know it's number 6. Oh, Ramsey right there to get the body on the player. Skyme was stepping out in front of the goal and looked like he had a little room there, and Ramsey got the body on him. Now Ramsey's got a chance to rub him off the puck yet again, and we've got some good physicality, as you'd expect anytime you've involved a team from northern Minnesota. These Blue Hawks come from the northern parts of Minnesota, and they're playing against those southwest suburban kids. A lot of these kids from Edina, Minnetonka, and the areas around them, Eden Prairie, stretching out into the southern suburbs, like maybe we'll even call them exurbs, like New Prague. Play continues, still scoreless here. The Lakers had to kill a penalty, and it gave some chances to the Blue Hawks. And other than that, we've seen very, very few juicy chances so far. About 10 minutes to go in this first period. In pursuit, it's Mangini. Mangini runs it down a little bit too late. It goes for offside, and he had Vekic in the slot if he could have got that one before it got to the goal line. Mangini's in the face-off circle. Wins the draw over in the direction of Locker. Locker rings the boards, and this is Weinkoff. Want to give a shout out to the Weinkoff family watching back home in Duluth. Thanks for tuning in. Out to the neutral zone. This is Lewin. Lewin buys some time and makes a nice pass. Chips this one up ahead to Pregame. Whoops. Pregame gets it up ahead to Lindholm, and now they've taken it all the way down to the end line. Here comes Weinkoff. He seems to be all over the ice this shift and eventually runs into the brick wall that is Lindholm. Stepping up into the play, Lewin wanted to grab that one, and it was just beyond the reach of what he could grab. Eventually thrown down for icing. 9.5 minutes to go first period, still scoreless. Face-off is controlled by a speedy Fellman, and he runs up against O'Connell and eventually gets pushed off the puck a little bit. Olam's out there with O'Connell. They were a very solid defensive pair yesterday. Shot on goal and good rebound control as he spits it out almost to the blue line. That's Rosenlund in goal. Hounding on the forecheck is Miskovich. He's doing a great job of keeping this play going, and eventually it's chipped out to the blue line. Not out, however. It's Donovan that keeps that one in. Kept in at that right point and on to the skate boot of Worst. Here comes Worst leading the rush. Takes it in wide. He's got a big frame and throws it out into the slot area. It bobbles over the stick. He was looking for Olam, who joined the rush. Bodies are flying. They get it back to the blue line to Olam, and he can't quite control this one. Leaves it over for Worst, who was going off for the line change. Worst fires it over to O'Connell. O'Connell dumps it in deep, and it gives the Lakers an opportunity to complete their line change, but we get a stoppage of play for an offside call. Back to the action, and nice little pass here over to Ramsey. Came off the stick of Pregame. Keep an eye out. I haven't necessarily called everybody's name yet. I've got Goodrich, Brown, and Pregame out there. Still going to keep an eye out. I don't know that I've seen Herbert yet. This one goes wide and takes a big bounce, comes over to the far right side, and it's reeled in by Schwager. They can't keep it in forever. Although the Lakers do ice it, it gives us a stoppage play. Going to bring it all the way back down to the left of goaltender Rosenlund. Worst is in the face-off circle, trying to win it back to Ramsey. It's eventually popped out to the blue line where we get a wrist shot that comes in. Carson, big save. Rosenlund, face-off yet again to his left. Chip down into the corner, and on the forecheck, the first one to arrive is Richards. Richards being used at forward today. Got a few players here for the Blue Ox that have been listed in the lineup card as a defenseman, but looks to me like both Richards and Kadoff are playing up front, and maybe that explains why we've seen Hammond a little more than you'd expect early going here, as they could be probably below 6 defenders. Ramsey and Worst. Big hit there on Holm, and eventually the Holm gets it down to the end line where now it's Gustafson fighting a battle. Back to the point. This is Hammett. Gets knocked down. Skyme makes a nice play there to make the short pass. And got these big players for the Lakers just continue to fight battles. Emerson, he's had the hot hand yesterday, and he gets it across the blue line a little bit after Tushy had sneaked over, and leads us to an offside call. Everywhere you go in the state of hockey, you're seeing Viking jerseys today. They got a big game tonight. I think it's New Orleans Saints, 8 o'clock or so. We'll be out of here in time for that one, and everybody can enjoy their Sunday evening. Nice play here to product it from Tupi, and he gets it over onto the stick of Lewin. Lewin tries to bring it out over on our side, Lindholm, but nice forecheck there from Sky and keeps the puck in, and Blue Ox are content to set up their ground and pound game, down cycling into the corner and fighting those wall battles. Lewin, he just lofts this one, and I think he tried to loft and it just fluttered out. Nonetheless, they clear the zone and lose possession. Popped out to the neutral zone, and this pass doesn't connect, and on retreat all the way back down into his end, I believe that's Hammett. Trying to find Clemenson down low. Clemenson playing it out of his boots and kicks this one over in the direction. He's got both Brown and Lindholm fighting that border, that battle along the wall. Kept in on the right side by a pinching Lewin. Throws it right back down, and I think this game, at least the first period, the story of this one is going to be who's doing the battle in the trenches, who's doing the fighting along the wall. We've seen very little out in the open, but we've seen a lot of very aggressive play down along that board area. Net gets budged. We get a stoppage. 5:13 remains in a scoreless first period. Major Laser blasting over the speakers, and play continues with the Blue Ox winning the draw, clearing the zone, and running across the blue line to offside. All right, that does it, folks. That's going to be my first goal call. Blow a kiss, fire a gun. You just heard it. Major Laser on the overhead speakers. Play continues. We're down below the 5-minute remaining mark in this opening period. Good job keeping it in at the point by Simonson. And another wrap attempt from Olam. This time he does manage to get it out. Simonson loses his feet as he throws it out to the neutral zone. And Eventually onto the stick of Donovan. Donovan's got some fast feet. Gets a good first, second, and third step. When he wants to get somewhere, he gets moving in a hurry. Puck is dropped over to Rosenlund's left, and it's quickly picked up by a sneaky Fellman, and we get another stoppage of play with the cover from Rosenlund. Face-off eventually finds its way onto Pregame's stick. He gains the neutral zone, gains the blue line, and does a good job with the zone entry, trying to set something up. Takes the shot knowing that he had some people crash in the net, and unfortunately for the Lakers, the puck was cleared out by those Blue Ox defenders. They certainly did a good job of getting pucks and bodies to the net there, and after an initial save, Couture couldn't quite get the cover. 4 minutes to go in the opening period. Ramsey's backing out, and now he works against Fellman. Fellman gets the puck over to Miskovich. Miskovich down to Donovan. Oh, nice play out there into the slot. They were looking for Miskovich, and Miskovich went to turn to shoot, and he had it tipped away from him. But it's swarming bees down there for the Blue Ox. It's like he turned from one and you run into another, and the Blue Ox have used that to their advantage, keeping the play going for a long, long time. Real good zone time here. Richards crashing down along that wall, fights the battle along the boards with Ramsey, and now they've played it back to the point. This shot's fanned on and didn't come off with much. Opportunity for a little chippy. Goodrich gets this one all the way down to Couture, who plays it to a defender, makes a nice long pass to Holm. Holm enters the zone and ships it down. It's going to be Lewin leaving it for Tupi, and now back to Lewin. Likes what he sees on our side of the ice, makes the breakout pass to Emerson, but the second one doesn't connect. Worst fires a shot, hits a skate boot, and bouncing around. And now down behind the end line with a chance to break it out is Locker. On to the stick of Richards. Richards chips this one down to the end line, and he goes off for a line change. 2.5 minutes to go in the first period. Worst lofts this one over the defenders down to the end line, and it's the Lakers' turn to establish their forecheck. They're going to work on banging down here against the Blue Ox. I can make out the difference in colors for these jerseys, but they're kind of similar. I mean, there's a blue and a gray. I know a common color blindness is red-green. I'm wondering if there's some people that might have trouble distinguishing between these two. You've got gray shoulders on the blue and blue trim on the gray, and both use white as an accent color. So the jerseys aren't too far apart. No call there as player went down, but it looked like the type of thing that could have resulted in a hook or a trip. Face-off is coming now to the right of Couture. Less than 2 minutes to go in this opening period. One nicely in the direction of Kadoff. He rings the boards, and good job pinching in from Clemenson. He keeps this Lakers forecheck going. And for the first time in some time, they've had a good bit of zone time. Skyme says enough of that, however, gains the neutral zone, gets across the red, dumps it down, and now he's content to do a one-man battle while the other four go off for the line change. Reinforcements arrive, and they're battling along the wall. The story of this game, folks, so far, if you just joined us, I want to thank you for watching, but if you just joined us, we're scoreless, and it's been a lot of board banging here, lots of fighting along the wall for possession and trying to work things off of those boards. Good play here from Lewin to break it up, and Lewin chips this out to the neutral zone, gobbled up by, is that Kadoff? No, I'm sorry, that's Schweiger. Schweiger plays over to his defensive partner, gets it back from Carson. like a magnet. It comes back to Carson. He takes a slow roller out to Vekic, and he's able to break out to the neutral zone. Nice pass onto the stick of Mendini, but good job by the defender there. Good play by Johnson. Got him to tip it off. Haven't seen the Minnetonka line for a while. Johnson does a great job hounding him, and now it's Brown bringing it out to the neutral zone. We got 2 of the 3 blue hats out for forward, and if Brown can get off, that'll complete the change. We'll have all 3. Dumped in by Johnson, and onto the stick, just wide by Brown. He didn't miss by much. A goofy little bounce there gives Vekic an opportunity to fight through, and Vekic trying to sneak through the defenders, but he gets knocked down and loses the puck in the process. Locker out to neutral zone. Folks, that's going to do it for the period. Good for me. I need a break. 0-0 is your score, end of 1. Be back in about 1 minute with period 2 action. 1 period down, 0-0 is your score. It's a championship game of the Tier 1 16U playoffs. Period 2, John Connolly here. Our producer today is Joe Henches, doing a great job bringing you all the footage of today's championship game. In case you weren't with us yesterday, we're going to put only 9 minutes on the board. We're going to play a hay period, if you will. Beautiful move, and he gets pulled down. Nice play by Johnson to get around the defender. He was going in uninterrupted on a breakaway before he got pulled down. Draws the penalty, and that's going to lead to their first power play of the game for the Lakers. So as I was saying, we just put 9 minutes up. Nobody told me what they're called, so I call them sessions. We've broken the second period into 2 sessions. So we are going to play the first 9 minutes. At that point, scrape the snow off, put some water down, and come back in about 15 minutes later. You, however, shouldn't go anywhere. We've got 2 interviews, replays from yesterday, so if you didn't see them yesterday, the first one is Mike McMillan. Mike is the head of all of Minnesota Hockey's high-performance programming. In addition to that, he wears a few other hats. He's assistant coach of Hamlin men's varsity, and he's also USA Hockey's national coach-in-chief. So we talked to him, and then the second half interview is going to be Josh Hicks. He's the Tier 1 16U czar. He's the administrator that runs this league for Minnesota Hockey, and it's been a very good league. It's been a big success. It's new or not new, depending how you look at it. This is the first year under this structure and considered a roaring success, and they're really excited about what they can do for next year. So we've got 1 minute to go in this power play opportunity for the Lakers. Blue Hawks fire this one all the way down, and Ramsey on retreat. Fakes the pass, makes the second look over to Knapp, and Knapp pulls this one out toward the blue line and ships this one up ahead. Now Knapp's just going to relieve some pressure by throwing it back to Ramsey. Ramsey fans on that one, and all of a sudden the Lakers are having trouble getting control of the puck as time runs down on their power play. 30 seconds to go in this man advantage. Manning takes it all the way down into the corner and fires a shot from a wide angle. Chance to clear it from Hammett. Gets it to the blue line. Kept in by Ramsey. Worst with his shot. This one hits a leg pad and goes off to the side. Gustafson plays, or excuse me, that's Goodrich back to the blue line. And eventually it's Hammett firing it up the middle with the presence of mind to hit Pullman on the tape rather than ice it. Pullman dumps it down into the corner. He goes off. Blue Ox complete their line change right at the same time. They return to full strength. Both teams now 5 skaters. Good play there to break it up by Richards. And Richards from Fergus Falls, he's got that maroon helmet on. Regroup opportunity as Goodrich plays back to the defender. Worst up ahead to the aforementioned Goodrich, and he's got a kind of a broken 2-on-1 here out in the slot. He looks for Pergande, didn't quite connect with him, but he was trying. Worst is down low. Oh, shot there from Goodrich. Hits a stick, goes up into the netting. We get a stoppage of play. Face-off comes to the goaltender's left. Brown's in the face-off circle for the Lakers. Mangini for the Blue Ox, and it's Mangini that wins the draw. Gets it back to the end line. They chip it out to neutral, and now it's a stretch pass up ahead to Mangini. Gets a shot off through the legs, and great job using defender Lewin as a screen there. Lewin ended up making the save, but you got to feel that Rosenlund didn't have a clear view of that puck. Offside, the call. 5:50 remains until our intermission, folks. 5 minutes, 50 seconds until our intermission. Mangini takes it down and spin move, looking for somebody out in the slot. Nobody home. Eventually it played nicely forward by Tupi. Tupi runs a breakout through Tushy and all the way down to the end line. Slightly late is Emerson, but he didn't miss that race by much as the puck kind of died just crossing the goal line. 5:31 remains. Face off to the left of Rosenlund. Our halftime guest today is going to be Mrs. Weinkoff from Duluth. Mrs. Weinkoff's our halftime guest. She's not listening. All right, back to the play here. Throw it all the way down for no icing call. We get the puck over to Richards. Richards runs into some static, and he's hot in pursuit for this one. Eventually, he backs off, and he lets Fellman chase this down. Fellman pulls out into the slot area, onto the stick of Donovan, and hits a leg pad and kicks over. Big clap bomber. Gets deflected from Richards. Nice play back here. Richards with yet another crack at it. Hits a skate boot, bounces high into the air and out to the blue line. Nice evasive move there by Schweiger. Schweiger plays this one back. Oh, and the shot goes just wide of the mark, but nice spinning shot there from Fellman. He's been all over the ice this shift. This has been the most productive shift we've seen from the Blue Ox since the start of the game. And big snapper there from Clemenson. Big heavy shot there. Right into the noggin and boom. Back of the net, Lindholm fires this one into the back of the net. Blow a kiss, fire a gun. 1-0 Lakers lead. So I think it's going to be Lindholm from somebody and Clemenson who is out there with him. Lindholm, maybe Worst and Clemenson. I'm going to put down 19 from 10 and 8. Nonetheless, the Blue Ox with only one league loss all year long now trail in the championship game 1-0 to the Lakers, who came to these playoffs with a losing record at 4-7-1. Out up ahead to Brown. Kept in at the point, right side. Knapp DDD to Ramsey, who fires one, and a huge save there by Couture. Big save with 4 minutes to go in this session. Newly leading, you can see Lakers have responded with even more pressure. They're feeling great. Breaking it out for the Blue Ox, out to the neutral zone, gains the red, gains the blue. Doesn't quite connect on the drop pass he intended, but it actually was Gustafson that stepped in to fill the lane. Chance here for Ramsey to Worst. Worst pulls this back, and he fires a hard one right into Couture. Big save. We get a stoppage, and the faceoff comes over to his left. Into the faceoff circle. Johnson looks across, eye to eye with Worst. Worst pushes the draw over toward the winger. They fire it down to the end line, and Kadoff rings the boards. Nice play to get it up to Fellman, and Fellman tries to stretch it out to Skyme, getting behind the defenders. Good play here. Worst entering 2-on-2. 2-on-2 zone entry, played it to Pregame. Pergande's shot just up over the crossbar. Chance for the Blue Ox to clear the zone. They do, and first one to arrive stepping in is Weinkauf with a big shot, and steered aside by goaltender Rosenlund. Weinkauf now with the interception. He's everywhere this shift. Snaps it out in front of the net and looking for a deflection there, or looking for Johnson. Nice play here by the defenders, Tupi and Lewin, to clear it out for the Lakers. Worst gains the zone. He's got someone streaking in the middle. That's Goodrich, and shot hits a defender's boot and goes off to the side. Worst is throwing that body hard and heavy down into the corner, and eventually the Blue Ox decide their best course of action is just to loft it out to the neutral zone. Lakers, Olam gets it up in front of the benches where it's dumped in on goal, and now it's a stretch pass. Olam's going to tip it, but it winds up onto the stick of Weinkauf. And as I mentioned, Weinkauf's had an awfully good shift. He's dead tired. He now goes off. Stretch pass, home run the other way. Goes foul, however, and we get an icing call. 2:07 remains in the session. 2:07 before we take our intermission. Faceoff's controlled momentarily by the Blue Ox. Richard keeps it in, but now there's bodies flying everywhere, and nobody can quite seem to get possession of the puck. Vekic plays this one over to Mangini. Mangini with a hit in front of the benches and out to the neutral zone. Schweiger dumps it back in. This pass is eventually able to find its target. That's Tushy. Tushy was one of the heroes yesterday, forced overtime. Tushy arrives, rubs the body down, and nice play on Schweiger, but Schweiger managed to get the pass off. Stood up nicely at the blue line. Good play there by O'Connell. Retreating, Schweiger. Calling for the home run pass up here at the blue line is Mangini. Puck never arrives. 1 minute, 10 seconds to go in this period. Or excuse me, the session. Hammett plays it over to Fellman. This is a speedy line. Anytime you see Fellman and Donovan out there together, there's a lot of speed for the Blue Ox. Looking for that tip from the side of the net, and doesn't arrive. Puck eventually on the line change, played from one corner here, Mangini, over to Locker, pinching in on the far point now, and got a good pace to this game all of a sudden, right as we're going to take our intermission in 42 seconds. Good puck movement here off that face-off win from the Blue Ox. Going to try to set it up on the half wall. It's 5-on-5, even though it might look like they're trying to put together a power play 30 seconds to go in the penalty. More banging along the wall like we've talked about. 2-2. Haven't gotten that fifth player in yet to provide the puck support. Gustafson runs into Ramsey. Ramsey spins him in the other direction and out to the blue line. Locker goes down in the corner against Ramsey, who chips this one out to the neutral zone. Lindholm gets there down to the end wall. Lindholm to Worst. Worst doesn't miss by much, just wide as the period ends. That's how it ends, folks. Oh, getting a little heated. We're going to take a break, scrape the ice, and throw down some water. So we'll be back in about 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere if you want to hear Mike McMillan, the high-performance chair for Minnesota Hockey. Mike is first up. And then we have the interview yesterday from Josh Hicks, who runs this league. Josh Hicks, second up after Mike McMillan. Mike, why don't you come on up here? So we're getting the headset for Mike set up right now, and we're going to talk a little bit about the high performance program in Minnesota. So let's get your microphone. 0-0 is our intermission score and our second great game of the day. All right, so Mike, I want to thank you for taking time to come up with us today. This is the 16U playoffs for the Fall Tier 1 League. And tell me a little bit about that. Is this the first year of 16s, I think, where you've had it in this current structure?
This is the first year we've had in the current structure. We actually had a 16 league for the last couple of years, but under a different, kind of an affiliate agreement with Minnesota Hockey. This time it's completely under our umbrella, under the leadership of Josh Hicks. So real excited about the first year. I think it's been good for the players. And hopefully developmentally it's going to help them as well as they move into their high school seasons. So
I talked about it earlier during the first game. I had an opportunity to announce the 15 final when the Green Giants took down Shattuck St. Mary's. For a long time in Minnesota, Shattuck's had a free pass into Nationals as the only recognized Tier 1 team. Now there's some competition for them the last few years, both boys and girls. And the winner of this game plays in tomorrow's championship, and the winner of that has an opportunity to play Shattuck with a chance to go to Nationals. So what are the benefits that these kids get with more structure around the fall hockey maybe than there used to be?
Well, I think the benefit is it really, it augments the high school season. So it's our before, and then after the season we have the spring high performance. But the before is structured to be developmental. So practice is accompanying games. And it takes our game count and our development side of the practices up to the level that they need to be to meet long-term athlete development goals that have been established by USA Hockey and IIHF and other federations around the world. So for us developmentally, it's really a nice piece. The kids get the number of games that they should. And then that with their high school season, you're going to talk, those kids are going to get about 46 games, which puts us on par with where we should be around the world.
So you mentioned that the fall's developmental, if you will, and then in the spring we see that high performance logo used quite a bit. And would you categorize that as more of the individual path, or what is the label you?
It's developmental as well. If you look at the 14s and 15s, we have 30 players that are practicing for up to 15 hours on ice, and then probably another 7.5, 8 off ice as they go through the process at 14s and 15s, and then they play in a festival where they get another 5 games plus practice time. So it's very much developmental there. I think sometimes people at the upper levels look at that 16s and 70s maybe a little as more evaluation and scouting, but that's true. That's also a reality of it too. That we want our players recognized. So scouts from the NHL. All the college hockey programs, Division I, junior programs are all there in the spring. But I think that same thing's going to happen in the fall as well. Exposure is important. We have to make sure we're promoting our athletes. We lead the country in NHL players. We lead the country in Division I, so we can't forget that. But in our high-performance programs, unlike pay-to-play programs, we try to build in the development piece as well.
So you and I both wear a few different hats. My prior background as vice president of the USA Hockey affiliate for Florida. You're doing some things with the USA Hockey affiliate at Minnesota, the Minnesota district.
Yep.
But then at the same time, you step outside and you do some things on the national level. So you see it from both sides. And I've said it many, many times, going to those USA Hockey, the annual winter meeting, the other things where they get people together for a powwow on, red, white, and blue, cross-ice hockey or whatever they're working on. Yep. Minnesota's the model. Minnesota is really the one that the rest of the country tries to emulate. So you see it from both sides. So what are you working on at the Minnesota level that will keep Minnesota at the forefront and make them the model for what the rest of the country wishes they could attain?
Well, my role in Minnesota Hockey is a high performance director, so since 94, 95, that's been my baby. So I think that's one of the things that we're clearly doing here, making sure we have those opportunities for all kids. I mean, we're looking at 4,000 kids involved in the program, so we're exposing them to a lot of new and creative, hopefully, good coaching and practices. We need to continue, though, to make our base strong. And one of the successes that we have is our numbers keep rising, even as one of the biggest hockey not only affiliates but districts in the country, and others can't say that. But as you do that, you need to be doing the right things. So I think we've been a front runner in cross ice. We've been a front runner in long-term athlete development. And I think we continue to push those envelopes and try to lead in those areas. And if we continue to do that, we'll stay out in front. But at the same time, I think we're doing that nationally. As the country gets better, we're all going to get better. We're going to get better for it. We're going to have better competitions as we play around the country. And I do think that they look at us as a leader. And, I think everybody in Minnesota wants to stay that way. But we also have a phenomenal relationship with USA Hockey, and we work with each other to make sure that both are getting better.
You mentioned the participation, and it's an expensive sport. One of the challenges, and it's across all of North America. You even have issues in Toronto, which people think is the highest concentration. The cost continues to spiral up if you let it. And I think that this game that we're watching right now is a great example of what's being done at the Minnesota level to keep that cost as low as possible. You can take the fall off. That's always an option, and some kids do. But for those that would like to play, this league has a very minimal travel footprint relative to other Tier 1 midget programs. My son's a player out of Florida, and they play in a league in the New England, northeast part of the United States. It's a lot of planes and hotels. And what are we seeing here? How much do these kids have to travel to get to these games?
Oh, they don't. They travel in their community. I mean, they're all based on district teams, so they get to travel in their community. Their community is based now on their district or their section in this model that we're using for our high-performance fall stuff. So really the travel is no different than they face during the season. So the Minnesota model is built around that. And our costs are cheaper. That's one of the reasons that we wanted to do this, was to give those kids that opportunity without having to pay astronomical amounts. And as you know, and I know nationally, some kids at this age level are paying $20,000 just to punch the ticket, not counting travel costs. So I think Minnesota's done a pretty good job of making sure our kids have those same opportunities at a very reasonable cost.
Well, for sure. Are there any final thoughts before we kick it over? We've got a recorded interview with Josh Hicks we're going to play. Any final thoughts you want to add?
Thanks for having us, and continue to support. It's really appreciated.
Thank you. That's Mike McMillan, the coach-in-chief nationally for USA Hockey. And in Minnesota, he is the head of all of the high-performance programming. So this is John Connolly here with Josh Hicks. So your title is Grand Poobah or Czar or Commander-in-Chief. So tell us about your role with Minnesota Hockey and then the 16U League that you run and what we're watching today on the ice.
So this, the 16U program, the Tier 1 program, is kind of revamped this year. In previous years they played under the Elite Prep Development tag, and then last year they kind of moved it over to Minnesota Hockey. Now we're full-bore Tier 1 16U. So this year I came in as program director, and I'm working to try and get this going in the fall and giving everybody a good local alternative that they can kind of get ready for their high school season.
And I think it's working. These are some teams that played some games a month ago when the North American Prospects Hockey League came to town. They were suiting up local teams that you run, that you oversee, against national teams with kids moving away to live with billet families and go through school upheaval and a lot of expenses in order to play the same level of hockey. And your teams fared very, very well in those games. So let's just talk real quick about the distinction here. There's a lot of labels that are thrown around, but whether it's AAA or fake Tier 1, this is legitimate Tier 1. So why don't you talk about what this feeds into the winner of this weekend's playoff series has a chance to do what?
So the USA Hockey Tier 1 program is set up at the 16U level across the country. We in Minnesota, obviously, when it comes to the winter, we go and play in our local high school. What Minnesota Hockey is now offering is the chance for, in this case, 2002 born or 16U player to play for the national tournament. This league, we play 20 games, get 20 games under our belt, playing primarily each other, although as you mentioned, we do get to play in the North American Prospects League. We also had Alaska Oilers, Jersey Hitmen, South Dakota. We were supposed to have Carolina Hurricanes come join us. Play 20 games throughout the year and boil it down to the playoffs. So the winner of our playoffs here this weekend will get to play Shattuck November 6th up here at the Super Rink for the chance to birth Minnesota's berth in the national tournament, which happens next April in Michigan.
And that's a big deal. Shattuck's for a long time had a straight pass as the only recognized Tier 1 program in Minnesota. And we saw a couple weeks ago from Plymouth at the 15 level, the teams out of the CCM High Performance Tier 1 League, Green Giants were the champion there, and they beat Shattuck, and they have the automatic berth to go to nationals. Now Shattuck might still get there on an invite, but it's not like it used to be where you just go play for Shattuck and you get to go to nationals. So this is a big step, and it doesn't really interfere with the Tier 2 structure where these kids play for their communities, or when they get to the older ages where they're going to dissolve this team and go get ready on different high school programs.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of the best of both worlds for these kids, getting a chance to try and give it a shot to get to that national tournament. I know this year was great on the boys' side, where we were finally able to break through and take Shattuck down and send a team to national tournament. Years past, we've had a lot of success on the girls' side for the Tier 1 programs, where they've been able to send girls to the national program. But, you know, it was great. We've had close games in the past at different age levels, so it was great that the 15s got through. And, you know, who knows, coming out of this weekend, we'll give it a run on November 6th, see what we can get done.
So looking ahead, this league's obviously working. It's a low-cost alternative relative to what kids in other states are doing. It's a great supplement to the high school season, which is just a winter sport. So, you know, 24 games, if you will, from Thanksgiving through to March. So looking ahead, what are some of the things on your docket? What would you like to see in 2019 fall season?
Yeah, it's great. We're gonna continue to grow it. Like I said, this was my first year kind of coming in the program, and we tried to tweak a few things here and there. You know, we're bringing in a lot more teams from outside the state, so we're not just constantly competing against each other and not having to go anywhere. You know, Minnesota Hockey's name carries a lot of weight throughout the country, and so we're able to bring teams in. You know, possibility of a showcase, hosting our own showcase next year is something we're looking into. We do have, you know, we have educational opportunities for the kids where we bring in College Hockey Inc. came in and presented to us earlier. We have some family advisors that are going to come in and talk to us kind of about what the college path can mean, different ways to look at it. You know, so a lot of the things that we're doing, we're able to offer through Minnesota Hockey's backing. This year, each team got a defenseman-specific clinic and a forward-specific clinic that they were able to run and get out on the ice with some of the higher-ups in Minnesota Hockey and put on great training for them. You know, most of the kids now are training with their own high school, their local association, so we want to be able to offer good quality competition. And if you look at, you know, just like the game we've got here, most of our games have been very competitive all season long.
Josh, you've touched on a few things that are near and dear to my heart. In a prior life, I was the vice president of USA Hockey's affiliate for Florida, spent a lot of years at board level, attended the national meetings, and you know, I know the challenges the sport faces throughout all of North America, even in Toronto, is one of cost. And how do you make sure you have opportunities for the people who have unlimited budgets and want to just play? And then how do you also make sure that you're providing something of value that keeps this a sport that is accessible to the mainstream? And what I can tell you is, having sat in a lot of meetings and been to a lot of you know, weekend boondoggles where we'd sit in a room and try to come up with better solutions, Minnesota was always held up as the model. Minnesota has great accessible hockey for all ages. People are able to play and not go poor doing it. And then from a distance, living outside the state, hearing people talk about Minnesota and, you know, what's missing are opportunities for those higher level kids to get more games against higher level kids. And here you've done just that without compromising anything. So this is something that is definitely working. Today's game is a great example of that. And when I hear what your plans are for next year, kind of building and growing from it, it just continues to get better and better. So any final thoughts from you before we go and play Stars and Stripes for JJ?
No, we're lucky to be here in Minnesota where we are, where we have the community-based model, and like you said, to be able to supplement something like this in a preseason type where we can get all the kids going and at that higher level, competing for a national tournament. It's a great opportunity for kids, and then still be able to go to what we really love and what we hang our hat on here is that community-based program in Minnesota.
Well, this has been Josh Hicks. He is the chair of the 16U division for the CCM High Performance Tier 1 League, and he did a great job of explaining what it is Minnesota Hockey's worked on to get this great league that you're watching today. So thanks for your time, Josh. We're going to go run a couple clips, and we'll come back with the rest of the hockey game.
Both teams have returned to the ice. We've got about a minute and a half before we return to play. Great one here with the Lakers trying to pull off yet another upset. They lead 1-0 with half of a game left, 9 minutes up on the board. We'll play a 9-minute second half of the second period, then we'll get off to the third period, 18 minutes.
Shuffled through the city on a 4th of July, had a firecracker waiting to blow, breaking like a robber who was making his way to the cities of Mexico. Lived in an apartment out on Avenue A, at a tall on a corner of town. Had myself a lover who was finer than gold, but I've been broken, I've been busted up since. Love don't play any games with me anymore like she did before. The world won't wait, so I bet she, that thing right out there through the door. Well, I still love you, New York. Found myself a picture that would fit in the folds of my wallet, and it stayed pretty good. Still amazed that I didn't lose that on a loop of the place. When I was drunk and I was thinking of you. Every day the children, they were singing the tunes out on the streets, and you could hear from inside. You used to take the subway on the house in the third. I would wait for you and not try to hide. Love won't play any games with you anymore if you don't want them to. The world won't wait, watch you shake, but honey, I don't blame you. Hell, I still love you, New York. I remember Christmas in the blistering cold in the church on the Upper West Side. Babe, I stood there singing, I was holding your arm, you were holding my trust like a child. Found a lot of trouble out on Avenue B, but I tried to keep the overhead low.
All right, let's get back to it here. We've got a half of hockey ahead, and I don't think anybody knows what's going to happen on this one. We've got a 1-0 lead for the Lakers. They wear gray with blue trim and white accents. They are facing the Blue Ox. They wear blue with gray shoulders, white trim. And Blue Ox are huge favorites in this one. Pass doesn't quite connect, goes for icing. We're going to bring it all the way back down into the Blue Ox end. So let's take a look here. The Lakers have switched goaltenders. It's now Hogg in for the Lakers. Hogg is now in goal for the Lakers. Face-off win by the Blue Ox, however. They're going to bring it out. Vekic, short pass up ahead to Weinkoff. Weinkoff gets bobbled up and takes a shot just wide. Doesn't miss by much. Ramsey's going to skate this one, and like the parting of the Red Sea. Finds it easy going all the way out to the blue line. Pass a little bit too far for Ramsey, or for Worst, but they deem it was tipped, and now fighting down into his own end. Kadoff tries to find a breakout path. Mangini, they try to work this one back to Mangini, and it's actually Weinkauf that gets there first. Weinkauf fights a battle against the much taller Worst. Now Ramsey leaves this one down into the corner, and it's going to be Manning trying to find a way out. Good pressure. Hammond on the right point, takes a shot, and this one steered aside by Hogg. Hogg playing the second half of this game. Job of Rosenlund to get it to the midpoint, didn't allow any goals. Nice play here from Worst. Worst centers that one into Johnson. Johnson tries to tip it around Couture. Couture standing tall, makes a save. Face off. Still 1-0 favoring the Lakers. Face-off's controlled by the Blue Ox. You bring it out to neutral zone, and it's that speedy line. Fellman out with Miskovich and Donovan. A little bit too far for Donovan. Rolls out to the neutral zone. Simonson's on the retreat, and in front of the benches, the Blue Ox have lost possession and lost the zone, and now they're defending in their own end. Nice heavy forecheck here by Brown. Brown had a great game yesterday. Walks it out to his backhand, and it's a chippy just over the crossbar. Blue Ox bringing this one out to the neutral zone. Up ahead to Miskovich. Shot saved by Hogg, and it's face off to his left. In case you just joined us, I'm John Conley here broadcasting this game. Eden Hall Productions for Minnesota Hockey. I appreciate the opportunity to do so and loving every minute of it. Our producer today is Joe Henches. He's done a great job getting everything squared away so you can see the images from the rink. Kept in at the left side point by Schweiger. Schweiger takes his time and eventually throws it down low, looking for a tipper deflection. Cleared out to neutral zone by the Lakers, and on a retreat, this is Carson. Carson behind his goal brings it up straight up the middle and plays it over the right side. Schweiger's pass doesn't connect. They run into some static in the neutral zone, and eventually Pullman just throws it down, dumping it in deep. D to D behind the goal line and playing it right back. O'Connell over to Olam. Olam out to the neutral zone. Worst gets there first, and Worst is really picking things up as the game goes on. He had that great play a moment ago. Pass doesn't connect, icing the call. 6:04 remains in the session. Might be 6:14. We've got a bad bulb, but a little bit over 6 minutes to go before we hit the end of period 2. Face-off controlled to Locker, and his shot gets deflected. Skymby in the goal tries to get this one out to Johnson in front. Johnson pays the price, however, as Lindholm takes him out of the play. Johnson. As we saw throughout the first half of the game, a great deal of battling along the boards, some wall battles, getting very, very physical, and that seems to be the complexion of this shift so far. Lindholm steals this one, and he fights through the neutral zone. He's now in a foot race with Hammett, and actually gets around him to get there first. Hammett seemed to be trying to take off his angle. Chipped out to the neutral zone. Knapp goes on retreat. Slow roller down to the corner. This is Knapp. Interesting play there as Skyme skated through it, fought off the check from Ramsey. Next thing you know, he's holding two sticks, one in each hand. Then he just dropped Ramsey's stick. Ramsey's now recovered. He's picked up his stick and tries to get back in defensive position. Mangini fakes the shot and out to the high slot. Hammett, second time's a charm. Got that one off. Clemenson did a great job with a stick check right as he went to release it, but he recovered nicely, and Hammett got that second effort off. Beautiful save here by Hogg. Mangini had snaked out through the danger zone, brought it to his forehand, tried to slide it 5-hole. Hogg with a huge save, keeps the combined shutout going, and we get a stoppage of play. It's Mangini going off for a penalty. Mangini flagged on the play, neutral zone face-off, and the Blue Ox go a man down. Personnel for the Blue Ox. Weinkoff out there with Vekic. Weinkoff has really looked impressive the last few shifts, and now they've got him out to do the heavy work on the PK. For the Lakers, I see Wurst. Left side, it's Johnson with the puck over to Wurst, and pinching up into the play is Lewin. Lewin goes toward the goal, bounces off the goaltender right as he arrived and out to the neutral zone. Nice play here by Tupi. Fighting through is Weinkoff, and jeez, he's played very, very well all period. 96 seconds remain in this man advantage for the Lakers. Wurst is still out there. He's got Keppers. I'm sorry, that's not Keppers. That's Manning and Johnson with him. Wurst doesn't quite get through as he chips it up. He was trying to find Johnson streaking ahead. Good play here from Tupi. Plays this one D to D and onto the stick of Wurst, out to the neutral zone. Trying to ride off that check, but good hustle from Fellman. This one's onto the stick, just over by Manning, over the crossbar. Manning had that puck pop out to him for a clear shot and fired it one just a little bit high. Still a minute to go on the man advantage. Stretch pass all the way up, looking for Pregame. Bounces off of his stick onto Johnson's, and Johnson hides it down into the corner. Gets pinned along the boards. Stoppage of play. 47 seconds remains in this power play opportunity for the Lakers. Credit the Blue Ox. They've done a great job on the kill thus far. Face-off won by the Blue Ox. That's a good way to kill the remainder of this penalty. Out at neutral zone, however, it's onto the stick of the Lakers, who are trying to connect on a few passes, and mainly the puck's just bouncing around, but everybody's touching it. Olam trying to bank it to Brown, doesn't quite connect. I'd like to see a line sometime with Brown and Wurst. That would be the Bash brothers. Those are some big power forwards. Be interesting to see them get some time together. Hogg gets the save, gets the cover. Losing his balance down low is Miskovich, and eventually he goes down to the ice. And the referee and his two linesmen try to sort things out, figure out if there's any penalties that need to be called. Roughing it is. They send off Olam. Olam goes off for roughing. We'll play 10 seconds of 4-on-4. Barring any stoppages, it would then be a minute and 50 of power play for the Blue Ox. 2 minutes, 59 seconds remaining in the period. Face-off 1-2 Ramsey. Presence of mind to gain the red line and chip it all the way down. He didn't want to throw it the length of the ice until those 10 seconds had run off. That would lead to an icing call. Now full strength, the Blue Ox try to rearrange things and get into position. This pass doesn't connect and goes the length of the ice. Icing the call. 1 minute, 36 seconds to go in their man advantage. Brown's in the face-off circle. No, I'm sorry, that's not Brown. That is Tushy. Tushy's in the face-off circle. It's won by the Blue Ox, however, and sliding it over is Johnson, but it hits a opposing stick, and it's ticked back all the way down. Blue Ox on the regroup. They gain the neutral zone, and the pass doesn't quite connect, and it's an opportunity for the Lakers' Emerson to throw this one over to the far blue line. Kadoff Plays this one over to Fellman, who gets a big shot off, and Hogg makes a huge save there. Still 1 minute, 6 seconds to go in that power play opportunity. Huh. Lindholm's into the faceoff circle. One, however, by the Blue Hawks. They bring this one back to the point, and it's a shot from Hammett. Goes just wide. Mangini. Hammett again. Sets up Mangini on the half wall. Mangini with his shot, and big save by Hogg. Hogg has looked very, very impressive since coming in at the game's midpoint. On the right side, Gustafson over to Hammett. Mangini. One of the problems that they'll have if they don't create some movement is those passing lanes clog. So flying without a color man here. I'll have to do my own color as I provide the play-by-play, but the breakdown there for the power play from the Blue Hawks is when you're stationary with the puck, the defenders know exactly where to stand to clog those passing lanes. If you have the puck holder moving and you have the players without the puck moving, you don't have to move much. Those passing lanes are ever shifting, and it makes it much harder on the defenders. Out of the penalty box! Oh, they could have hit. Olam went to the bench. Worst came onto the ice, and they could have hit him on the breakaway if they would have recognized it. Instead, it came out a little soft and died in the neutral zone. Just to finish that thought, I had an opportunity, it was a year ago, November, had an opportunity to announce the U.S., Canada, Sweden, and Finnish women's Olympic teams. They ended up being the 3 medal winners in Pyeongchang. And both the U.S. and Canada did a great job when they had the puck in the power play. They'd established the zone time, and then there would be some movement from the puck holder and the players without the puck. They could still stay in a shape like an overload, an umbrella, or a cross, but that movement within that shape is what creates those open passing lanes. So enough on that. We'll get back to the play here. 25 seconds remaining in the period. The Blue Hawks still trailing 1-0. Scoring chance here and a big save by Hogg. Nice shot from Johnson. Hogg with the save. Faceoff comes to his left. So I'm John Connolly doing these games, Eden Hall Productions. For Minnesota Hockey. I've enjoyed this very, very much. I want to thank all of you for watching. Had an email come in a moment ago, and I'll give out a phone number if anybody wants to just touch base. Send me a text message between periods, and we can check in with all of you that have had an opportunity to watch today's championship game. Big play by Worst there, fighting into the zone, and that's how the period's going to end. So I'll get to that email in just a minute when we come back from our intermission. We got a 1-minute break. Don't go anywhere, but if you'd like to check in, let us know you're watching. You can send me a text message at 904-652-4036. I'll read that number a couple more times, but would love to hear from you. I've given shout-outs to grandparents in Alaska, and I've had people watching from the Czech Republic, done a lot over the years with people that check in from all parts, and would love to hear from you. So just send a text message, 904-652-4036. One last time, that number is 904-652-4036. Thanks for watching. We're going to take a quick break.
Dangle sniper celly, dangle sniper celly, dangle sniper celly, man, I'm gonna make a milli. Dangle sniper celly, dangle sniper celly, dangle sniper celly, man, I'm gonna make a milli. Got my backhand toe drags, my dangles, they be perfect. Slick on the ice, boy, I'm ice game surfing. I'll clown your errands. This is like a circus, 3-on-3 in summer league, your efforts, they be worthless. I dangle sniper celly, I dangle sniper celly. Got my flow ice out and my dangles, they be chilly. You can catch me on my telly, I got dangles on my speed dial. I don't need to think about it, baby, it's a freestyle. Call it just dangles, then I'm hitting top cheese. Got these benders breaking ankles, sniping tenders when I please. D-town stunners, yeah, we going for the whiteout. Cages and the shells and the dangles, we be iced out. You know I got the haters in my ear like a Bluetooth, blowing up the game, popping off like a moon roof.
All right. If you're watching the Blue Ox, you know that yesterday it was 0-0 at intermission. They had yet to score a goal halfway through, yet to give up a goal. Things came out for the second half of that second period, and then things got a little haywire from there. 7 goals before it ended. They win 5-2. This one, however, we've made it to the middle of the game, still without the Blue Ox scoring. Now we've completed 2 periods into the third period. 18 minutes goes back up on the boards, and the Blue Ox are trying to find a way. Big shot here from Hogg, and he recovers to make the save. Oh, my goodness, did you see what I just saw? That was a fire laser from the point. It went off a Hogg and went high into the air, came up over his shoulder, dropped down to the ice, and was crawling across the goal line. He laid down, threw his arm out, and made a huge save to prevent that puck from crossing the goal line. Kept this one at 1-0. Lakers lead. Got a note here from one of the grandparents giving me a pronunciation. I always appreciate that. That's one of the reasons I give out my number for people to send text messages. Got an email. Looks like I got a text message from the same person that sent the email. Very much appreciated, folks. Into the third period here. Final weekend of the season for the Tier 1 League, and you got to crack me up here. I see Kadoff calling for that puck. He wants it badly. Kadoff's over here on the left side, 15. He wants the puck badly, and snap her into the glove of Hogue. How did I do on that one? Hogue with a big glove save. Just 16 seconds have elapsed on this minor penalty. Minor penalty to Knapp of the Lakers. Gives the Blue Ox a power play, and this is a great opportunity. If you're following the Blue Ox, this is a great opportunity for them to get on the board and tie this game. Carson plays it over far wall. Oh, that pass doesn't connect, and it's a chance for Pregame to knock it out to the neutral zone. Big hit right in front of the benches and cleared out to the neutral zone. Regroup opportunity for the Blue Ox. Cutting inside is Kadoff. Now it's over to Mangini. Mangini tries a lazy pass to the blue line. Kept in by Kadoff, kind of, but they were at risk there, losing that one out. Oh. Good puck movement here onto the stick eventually of Carson from the point. The Lakers have had multiple opportunities to get their stick on it, but have yet to clear the zone. They just either fumble it barely out to neutral and it comes right back in, or it's to these point men, both Kadoff and Carson doing a great job on the blue line. This is Kadoff to Carson. He takes a shot looking for that tip. I think it hit Vekic and just sailed slightly wide. 30 seconds to go. Another penalty upcoming. Oh, paying the price is Richards. That shot came in from Carson, never made it to the net. Friendly fire. Richards goes down like a hit by a bullet, and we'll see if he's all right. That one had to hurt. When we get back to the action here, it's going to be a 5-on-3. Tripping the call. Off for the Lakers goes Pregame. Going to take a quick break here, and let's hope that all the players are all right.
Can I get your hand to ride on? This piece of leg to fight on. What a night to fly my kite on. Do you wanna flash a light on? Take a look, it's on display for you. Coming down on night today. Did you meet your fortune teller? Get it off with no propeller. Do it up, it's on with Stella. What a way to finally smell her. Pick it up, it's not too strong.
All right, so got a couple things to go over here. The injured player, he's a big part of this team. Richards goes off. He got hit pretty hard by a puck there, and the injured player goes off. Somewhere in all the commotion, a second penalty had been called. Pregame goes off for the trip. So it's 20 seconds, well, 25 seconds, now 20, of a 5-on-3 situation. The face-off win there from Worst is huge because that means the Lakers are going to be able to get back to 5-on-4 in just 10 seconds and didn't have the puck in their end. At that point, a new 5-on-4 opportunity is going to start. Waning moments here, the 5-on-3. They send this one just high, and coming out onto the ice is Tushy, close to getting a too many men there, but play continues. Worst with a shot, steered aside by Couture. Now there are 80 seconds left to kill, and it's an aggressive penalty kill as we've got a forechecker all the way down to the end line. That's Tushy. Now he hustles to get back up into the play. Hard to clog the neutral zone. This is an Olympic width sheet. We're playing a 100-foot width. So if you're used to having teams that can clog that neutral on the penalty kill, it's a lot harder today. Sheets 1 through 4 are the wide rinks. I know 1 through 3 are. I think 4 is as well. And then when you get back, you're the regular 85-foot width. Oh, what a hustle play by Tushy. Tushy, I mentioned earlier, is playing an aggressive PK. He threw his body out at that one, knocked it the length of the ice, and forced a regroup here. Ramsey takes the Blue Ox player out, and dipsy dangle. Lindholm bringing it all the way and out to Ramsey, and that pass almost connected. Ramsey's hustling back to get to his defensive post. Typically a defender. Looked like he'd switch places with Clemenson. A little trouble with the cover there. Hogue eventually gets it, and we get a face-off coming to his right. Still 21 seconds remaining in this man advantage. Still 21 seconds remains in this man advantage for the Blue Ox. .14:07 to go in this game. Plenty of time left, although the Blue Ox would feel a little bit more comfortable if they weren't trailing. They only had lost one game during the league play during the season, and then won yesterday as expected, 5-2 in their semi. But they've had trouble scoring today, and credit the nice play here from Ramsey. Clemenson takes it wide. God, I thought he was going to get around the defender. It looked like Carson lost his edge momentarily, and right as he went to go around him, he also had the puck squirted away from him. Kept in at the point by Knapp. Knapp throws this one down, and really credit the Lakers for coming out for this playoff season-ending weekend, and that's into the back of the net. I thought the goal was scored by Lindholm. It's Brown that knocked it in, either for the first time or the second time, but we're going to go with Brown from Lindholm because the goal was not signaled yet. The referee was right there, and he was not saying it was a goal. So Brown had to come in and tidy that one up. I thought the puck had already been in the goal, but this is for you. Brown and Lindholm make this one 2-0. Wowza, what a change. This game just took an incredible turn. It's one thing to be down a goal early in the game, middle of the game, late in the game. You know, goal starts to mean a lot. It's now 2 goals, and Hogue makes a great save there. It is now 2 goals. That's huge. Some people have asked me watching, games sometimes, hey, do you think they can come back? When you're down 2 goals and the score's 7-5 in mites and the goalies can't stop anything, that's one thing. When it's 2 goals and you've had trouble scoring, that's quite a bit. Goaltenders for the Lakers, Rosenlund had played very, very well for his half, kept the shutout. And then Hogue came in middle of the second period, and he's kept the gate locked down as well. So it's going to be hard, although we've seen some good scoring chances. they continue to come from the Blue Ox. 2 goals is a much bigger difference, and still plenty of time, 13 minutes to go, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Nice breakout opportunity to Gustafson, but Gustafson chooses to bring it all the way back down into his own end and then tick a little pass off the boards to defenseman Hammett. Taking a longer route makes it much harder to get out, and this one would have been kept in by Lewin had he not fanned on the shot. Gustafson takes a crack at that one. It bobbles up to the end wall and starting to get some body checking. We had a lot in the second period, but it's been a little bit quiet since. Manning tries to work this one through the wickets and gets around defender Locker, regains the puck, takes a shot. That's easily saved by Couture. 12:20 to go in this one. Winner gets Shattuck St. Mary's. Winner gets Shattuck St. Mary's. And at this point, not out of the realm of possibility that the 4th seeded losing record Lakers would be the representative from the Fall Tier 1 League. They have a 2-0 lead. Brown out neutral. Oh, and a nice move. He keeps the puck onto his stick and enters the zone with a short pass to Pergande. Pergande over to Brown. It hopped up over his stick, and it's a breakout opportunity for Weinkauf. Out to the neutral zone. This one's grabbed by Olam. Brown. Oh, nice pass here onto the stick of Goodrich, but it bopped off of his stick before being picked up by the Blue Ox. Mangini goes to take the shot, and nice play there to tick it away right as he went to release it. Worst goes down and loses the puck. Good pressure there from Hammett. Hammett tries to get the puck up ahead to Vekic. It goes down to the end line, or it's reeled in by O'Connell. O'Connell headmans the puck, home run pass, and it bounces up over the stick Emerson. This one goes for icing. 11:11 left in the third period. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a few moments after this face-off to Hoag's right. They made a decision to move the faceoff to the other end of the rink. I'm not sure why. And Donovan enters the zone, ridden off the play nicely. Good stout defense there from Knapp. Down to the end wall. Locker keeping this one in. He's typically the left defender, and he pinched in and got committed all the way down to the end line. Hammett on retreat. They need 2 goals, 11 minutes to get them. Plays Locker. And turnover and trying to make that short pass to Worst. Worst now behind the goal line and onto the stick of his line mate Emerson. Emerson's been the one that had the hot hand yesterday. Comes Donovan. Donovan tries to go 5-0. Rebound opportunity. Back of the net. This is a goal from Hammett. Hammett takes that rebound, makes it 2-1. Hammett from Fellman and Donovan is how I'm going to put that one into the books. 10 from 17 and 21, and the Blue Ox are on the board. Well, just what I was thinking is when this game is at 2 goals, you start getting later in the period, and it really is problematic for the Blue Ox. They would have preferred to score quickly, and they just did. There's still over 10 minutes to go, and now all of a sudden 2-1 doesn't seem like it's so much. Knocked down and played out. This is a great play by Lewin. Lewin gains the blue line, and everybody's got to take up because losing an edge was Clemenson right as he got to the blue line. Got a little issue there in front of the benches. The injured player is Kadoff. Looked like he took something up around that neck area. And I don't know if there's a penalty upcoming. High stick it is. Off goes Clemenson. Clemenson goes off, and what moments ago was a 2-0 game, 5-on-5, even strength into the third period. Now all of a sudden it's a 2-1 game with things starting to look up for the Blue Ox. They've got one and have an opportunity to tie the game as they've gone on the power play. Played behind to Fellman. Donovan's in front slot area. Low slot drifting out to the mid slot and played back to the point right side. This is Schweiger with a shot into the legs of Johnson. And great play here to clear it out of the zone. Maybe not. Johnson did everything he could to get the puck out, but couldn't find a way to bring it to neutral. Kept in by the Blue Ox. Fellman dumps this one down into the corner and circles toward the goal. I mentioned earlier the importance of moving with and without the puck on the power play. I think you're seeing it here from the Blue Ox, doing a real good job of keeping players moving, and that's what opens up those passing lanes. Up into the netting, we get a stoppage of play. 9:12 remaining in the game. 9:12 remains in the game. Oh, great shorthanded play there. They tip it up to Goodrich from Herbert. Excuse me, is that 16 or 18? 18's Pregame. I haven't seen Herbert today. He must have had a conflict. I have not seen 16 Herbert today. And let's count on the bench. 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah, it looks like they're missing a forward or two. I think they might be missing Herbert. Have I seen? I thought I saw 9 first shift of the game, but I don't think I've seen another blue helmet since. So anyway, back to the action here with a rink-wide pass right onto the stick of Johnson. Johnson came all the way down from War Road for the weekend. D to D over to Kadoff. Out top to Carson, and a big save by Hogue. This one goes into the corner. Chance to clear, blue line, and out. Goodrich picks this one up, gets around the defender. Goodrich with a backhand, knifing up into the top corner, and a huge save by Couture keeps this one 2-1. Oh, love it. Love it. We got people watching from, and you're going to have to shoot me if I pronounce this wrong, Estevan, Saskatchewan. Gail's watching her nephew, and I hope you watched the pregame because I had highlights of yesterday, and you'd have seen your nephew with the big game-winning overtime goal, sending everybody home. If you didn't, you can go back in archives and watch the intro to today's game with yesterday's highlights. Or you could go watch yesterday's game in its entirety, both available on the same YouTube channel, accessible off of MinnesotaHockey.org. 10 seconds to go in this power play. Shot looking for the tip, but it's a skate boot. That was off the skate boot of Donovan, and a big save by Hogue. Eventually cleared right on goal. Couture turns it over. Emerson with a big shot. And holy cow, Couture served up a turnover there. Fighting through the neutral zone is Locker. Eventually gains the attacking end, and nice pass here. Bobbles off the stick of Donovan, and it's a chance for Ramsey to rush. Ramsey's got a head of steam in the puck and kind of had some help from Clemenson. Couldn't find a way to get the puck over to him, however, as it was kind of a 2-on-3 entry. Brown's a fun player to watch, big power forward. Brown gets this one onto his stick and tries a short pass over to Clemenson that didn't quite arrive, and now we're looking at 2-on-2 the other way. Fellman and Donovan. Donovan gets ridden off the wing. Ramsey steps up and knocks him into the middle of next week. It's getting physical, folks. 7 minutes to go in this one. 2-1 is your score. Yeah, I can't remember what day. I know it's about a week and a half from now when it might be Tuesday the 6th, maybe, when the winner of this game plays Shattuck St. Mary's. Winner of that game goes to USA Hockey Nationals for 16U. Nice play here from Ramsey. No, that's Worst. Nice counter move Good pass from Pullman. Into the slot. Skyme took a crack at that one. Gets another one, and Skyme's shot goes just wide. This is Lewin out to the blue line. Shipped out to neutral. Great play there by Worst using his big long reach. Worst has a father and an uncle, both about 6'4". The family name well known in the Edina circles. Hogue with a save. We get a face off and a cover, bringing it over to his left. This has been a great one, folks. The one and only game today. Yesterday we had 2 semifinals. These are the 2 winners of those. The one and only game today, and jeez, we've had a lot of tension packed into one game. Nice play from Goodrich, chipping it out to neutral, and tying the foot race. And as he arrives, same time as the Blue Ox defender, it hops up onto the Blue Ox bench. Less than 6 minutes to go in this one. Big face-off win, and they tried to slide it over here to Carson. However, good on the forecheck. Goodrich got a stick in the way, and a point-blank scoring chance there from Brown. Brown down into the corner and fights a battle. Tries to make that short pass to Tushy, but it bounced off his stick. Kept in by Goodrich with the steal. Brown hunting down the rebound, and now he's fighting a battle down on the end wall. Downtown Brown, he's awfully active out there. He's been fun to watch all weekend long. 5 minutes, 30 seconds remains. Blue Ox still trailing 2-1. Scrum along the wall, and 2-2. Eventually we get that third blue jersey for support, and you'd expect the blue jersey to come out with the puck, but it doesn't happen that way this time. Shot wide by Goodrich, and pinching in over on our side is O'Connell. O'Connell sends this one, and Schweiger gains possession behind the Blue Ox goal. Out to neutral, short pass in front of the benches, and nice little dipsy dangle there from Weinkoff. Worst plays this out to the blue line. It's kept in, and this one tips up into the air. Hogue with a glove save, and with 4 minutes, 50 seconds remaining, faceoff comes to his left. So we play 18-minute periods. Long games here, longer than Minnesota high school games will be. We're deep into this one. It's 2-1 with less than 5 minutes to go. At some point, if it's still 2-1, you have a feeling the Blue Ox might be looking to pull the goaltender. I'll keep an eye on Couture and let you know if they do summon him at some point. Who knows? It could be 4-1 or 3-2 the other way by the time we get down to the mark where you pull the goalie. But so far, goals have been tough to come by. Tushy fights a battle, gets knocked off the puck, but regains his feet, and he's in pursuit. Locker makes a pass, and far breakout path in front of the benches, and a couple players skate over this one and ticked back to Hammett. Hammett had the goal that made this one 2-1. Nice pass here onto the stick of Mangini. Mangini to Vekic. Hogue with the huge save. 4 minutes to go in this one. Nice play here by Worst out to the blue line, and it manages to clear the zone, but not much. Locker was standing right there. It got out just across the blue line before coming back in, leading to the icing or the offside call. Face off in front of the benches. At this point, either way, a penalty would be devastating. Penalty would really affect the Blue Ox's chances to score a goal. And the Lakers certainly don't want to have to withstand another Blue Ox power play. They've played very, very well. They lead 2-1, and they are close to pulling off their second upset in a row. Watch Mangini's all the way over in front of the bench, trying to stretch this. Oh, sorry, that's not Mangini. That's Kadoff trying to stretch the rink here on this faceoff. Kadoff, breakout pass to Skyme over his stick out to the neutral zone, and Skyme can't quite get a hold of it. He just kept reaching and couldn't quite get that one down onto his stick. Lewin, nice passes out to the blue line, and while the Lakers lost possession, they did clear it out to neutral. Fellman working. Donovan's in the slot. Donovan's down behind the end line. Skyme out there with Fellman and Donovan. This one's thrown the length of the ice. Clemenson's content just to get the whistle, and see some fresh personnel come out for the Lakers. Folks, we got an upset brewing. It is 2-1, 3:14 remaining. 3:14 remaining in this one. 2-1 is your score. Face-off controlled very nicely by the Blue Hawks. Shot, however, is deflected down. Great play there, getting into the passing lane from Johnson. Johnson gets it up to Manning. Manning, his pass doesn't connect with Johnson, but the two Minnetonka players work on their forecheck. Pops out to the neutral zone. We get a stoppage of play. Offside the call. Inside of the 3-minute mark. So close you can taste it if you're the Lakers. And crunch time if you're the Blue Hawks, hoping to find a way to get the goal that you need to tie this one and extend the game. Onto the stick of Pullman. Pullman kind of loses it to himself. He pushed the puck ahead, and then he couldn't quite catch up to it. We get a stoppage of play as they wind up going in offsides. Worst is into the face-off circle with a clean win, and at this point you're seeing a lot of chip and chase, and the Lakers are just trying to simplify the game. If they're in their own end, they want to get to neutral. If they're in neutral, they want to get to the attacking end. They haven't done that much in the last few minutes here, but they are not trying anything complicated. They definitely don't want to do anything that runs the risk of turning the puck over, giving up an odd man rush. Strong forecheck here, Goodrich and Pregame. Trying to clog that passing lane, and nice pass there. Gets it up ahead into the neutral zone to Pullman. Pullman sends this one over on the right side to Gustafson. Gustafson, he goes off. He's a little bit tired, and out comes a fresh set of legs. Out of the boots of Schwager. Schwager with a shot straight into the knee. You can see visibly having trouble moving after that one is Pregame. Goodrich has had a great third period, folks. Goodrich with a big shot and a save covered by Couture. We're down to 151. It's a zone face-off in the attacking end for the Lakers. They've got to love that. Lakers down in the attacking end. Making it harder for the Blue Hawks to summon Couture if they would like to pull the goaltender for the extra attacker. Face-off is won and rung over in Vekic's direction. Vekic chips this one ahead, and it's gathered up by Weinkauf. Out to the neutral zone. At this point, Couture has not motioned toward the bench, but he has looked over there. Couture makes a dart toward the bench, and out for his sixth attacker comes Donovan. Folks, with 90 seconds to go in this one, Ramsey has the puck behind the end line. He's got an open net ahead of him, and he throws it out to the neutral zone. And as I mentioned, this game has been simplified for the Lakers. If we're in our end, get to neutral. If we're in the neutral, get offside. Offside. I don't know why there's a celebrating. It was blatant offsides. 3 guys were in the attacking zone, folks. That's not a goal. It wasn't even close to a goal. A lot of hooting and hollering, but that makes no sense. Timeout called. Folks, we've got a timeout call. We're going to take a quick break here. 2-1 is your score. Neutral zone face-off upcoming. 2-1. The Blue Ox trail the Lakers. 2-1 is the score. We'll be right back after a quick break for the exciting conclusion of today's game.
Okay, Coconut Man, Moonheads, and P. You ready? Seems like everybody's got a price. I wonder how they sleep at night. When the sale comes first and the truth comes second, just stop for a minute and smile. Why is everybody so serious? Acting so damn mysterious. Got shades on your eyes and your heels so high that you can't even have a good time. Everybody look to the left. Everybody look to the right. Can you feel that? Yeah, we're paying with love tonight. It's not about the money, money, money. We don't need your money, money, money. We just want to make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. Ain't about the cha-ching, cha-ching. Ain't about the, yeah, bubbling, bubbling. Wanna make the world dance.
All right. The timeout has ended. The Blue Hawks have nailed down their final strategery get you a personnel run here. Mangini standing right in front of me. Fellman, Donovan. Far side is Miskovich. Blue line is Kadoff and Hammett. Countering, Ramsey out with Lewin. Dumped in all the way down by Tushy. We get an icing call. That one got to the red line and chipped it right before he arrived. Tushy out with Brown and Emerson. Tushy, Brown, and Emerson out to close out this last 68 seconds here for the Lakers. Hogue is in goal. He's played very, very well. Rosenlund had 0 goals allowed for the first half, and Hogue has faced some huge shots, and he's only let 1 in so far. It was a rebound redirect. Final minute of the game, folks. John Conley here, Minnesota Hockey. Shot deflected by Emerson. Emerson was yesterday's hero. Huge chance down low by Feldman. Hogue makes the save, and we're still 2-1 Lakers. Just 48 seconds remaining into this game. Wowza. Do not go anywhere. This one is not even close to over. Anything could happen at this point. Anything could happen. Trying to clear the zone. Get it out to neutral. Great play by Lewin. Lewin gains the red line and dumps it down. Misses the goal, however. 40 seconds to go, and there's battling down low, but it's a quick breakout here for the Blue Ox. With a head of steam, chipping it up into the neutral zone. Miskovich takes it from Kadoff. Kept in nicely by Hammett. They call that a hand pass somehow, and that's going to mean a neutral zone face-off. That is a interesting time for that interpretation. That certainly killed the momentum with a neutral zone face-off. They'd gained the zone. He knocked it forward. I suppose it was a hand pass, but looked like he just knocked it down, I suppose, if you're a Blue Ox loyalist. Donovan into the face-off circle. Worst with the win. Chips it forward, and chipping it up ahead is Lindholm. Just 20 seconds remaining, folks. 20. 15 seconds, and the Blue Ox are pinned back into their own end. They gain neutral with 12 seconds to go, and a rink-wide pass that's uncontrollable. O'Connell gets there first. We're down to 5 seconds left to go in this one. Slow roller in the corner. That's going to do it. Your Tier 1 16U champions. Unexpected as they were the 4th seed losing record regular season Lakers, but the Lakers move on. They'll face Shattuck for the Minnesota District berth at Tier 1 USA Hockey Nationals. Want to thank everybody for watching. Scoring summary, Lindholm with the first one. Assist from Clemenson and Worse. These are very unofficial, but this is what I thought I saw. Brown from Lindholm made it 2-0. And then for the Blue Ox, they made it interesting and close. Their only goal came from Hammett with assist to Fellman and Donovan. It was a great weekend of hockey here from the Super Rink. Joe Henches has been our producer. Big thanks to Josh Hicks, the Tier 1 Committee Chair, for making this all possible. And we will see you next year. John Conley here for Eden Hall Productions. Thanks for watching.